Hi, so I am just jumping on here basically to do a mum talk. I'm actually in my car. It's 8 o'clock at night, it's pouring down with rain outside of my car. I've just been to the gym. I only got a quick half-hour session in, and yeah, I just kind of needed to talk. And before I say anything, I just want to point out I'm really, really sensitive to all women out there who have kids, who are trying for kids, who are maybe struggling and are unable to have kids and things like that at the moment. Like, I'm sensitive to all of that. This is basically a non-judgmental zone. So if you start watching this and you have your judgment hat on, take it off, leave it at the door. I don't need it in my house or my car at the moment, okay? But I have two boys that I love to bits. I have JJ, who's 2, and Grant, who is 3 months. And they are phenomenal, light of my life. But oh my goodness, they are so hard at times. I don't know if I'm doing it correct. Like, I actually am questioning whether or not I'm parenting correctly, because sometimes I'm just so stuck and I just don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just genuinely like, am I doing the right thing? And that was kind of one of my days. Like, that's how I say how my day's been today. This is how my week has suddenly been. I don't know if I should leave the car on or off. I'm going to turn the car off. It's just the light might go off. So yeah, like, my 2-year-old JJ, he is amazing. He's finding his words. He's into everything. He's a great little guy. But his favourite word at the moment is no. And he has such a strong personality and he's so stubborn. And everything is no, no, no. Even the things he means yes to is no. And you try and take it with a pinch of salt and, you know, you try and be lax and all that, but sometimes it's really hard. Like, he used to love putting his clothes on, but now he doesn't. He hates putting his clothes on, and even though he loves going to nursery and he wants to get out the door every day, he would much rather do it naked than with his clothes on. So every morning is a fight to try and get his clothes on. And at the moment as well, Dad is the favourite person. I don't know if anyone else experiences this with their kids. They kind of flip-flop between who they prefer, but my husband at the moment is the favourite. So everything is daddy, 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 daddy. And the minute my husband leaves a room, like, there's a tantrum because he's left the room. And everything daddy does is correct. And even if I do it the same, everything I do is wrong. And, like, usually it flip-flops over a course of a few days, so it's maybe not as much as tricky. You maybe don't notice as much, but this has been going on for like a solid week now, and I'm just like, oh, you know, it's just hard. And like, I've went from being his favourite person in the whole world. Like, it used to be mummy, 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 and at the moment I'm just not. And it's hard not to take it personally, even though you shouldn't. Everyone does a great job parenting, and let's face it, being a parent is like being chucked in the middle of the ocean and asked to swim to shore, and you don't know, you can't see land. You just have to go in a direction and hope it's the right one, you know, and just kick your little legs. Like a swan, you look calm on the surface, but down below you're just kicking. But it's, so you know deep in your soul that you're trying your best, you're trying your hardest, but it's hard sometimes just not to take it to heart. And that's kind of where I've been the last few days. And especially because it's been over Mother's Day weekend, it's been rough, it's been hard. And I just question whether I'm doing things correctly. And then I think everyone's probably done this. Then you go down the Google hole where you type in, is it normal that your kid hates you? And you end up down the Google hole of, oh, you know, it's completely normal and all this and that. And it's kind of good because you're relieved that it's completely normal behaviour. But then at the same time, you're like, you see all these people who are like, I have parenting down to a T, and my child puts his own clothes on after choosing the clothes, after putting them away when I've laundered them. And you're like, I'm still trying to stop my child from dragging his clean clothes out of the cupboard, let alone putting his clothes away that I have like washed and folded for him. And people are just like, oh, my child is amazing. And that's great. That is good. It's great to see how adaptable and independent children can be. And certainly, as someone who likes to do a more Montessori practice myself, that is kind of the direction you want to push them in, and, well, not push them, direct them in. And it's great to see other parents that are achieving that really well. Salute you, high five. But sometimes you just don't see the other side of it, where it's just like, oh my goodness, this has taken me 12 turns to get it right. And it's been really hard and really frustrating, and it's taken 6 months. All you see is the end result of my child is phenomenal. And that's not the case. The journey is hard. The journey is really, really hard. So it's great, but it's hardship. And I feel as well, you'll see it on social media, people being like, let's put down our toddler mishaps. And you do laugh because toddlers have tantrums and they go crazy about the weirdest things. Like, my toddler had a tantrum because I wouldn't let him drive himself to school, My toddler had a tantrum because I couldn't turn night to day and day to night. And it is really funny. And you can laugh at these things after the fact. But I feel we don't ever really focus on the fact that there was a fact. And probably for 20 to 30, in some cases even an hour of that tantrum, that parent was probably going through hell and second guessing themselves, potentially having to leave the room because they were so frustrated they couldn't deal with it, trying to calm themselves down, or they were completely like dealing with the tantrum perfectly and were able to comfort their child, validate their emotions and bring them down off their tantrum and get a win. But these things are just not really ever talked about or discussed. I kind of always feel like it's the whole, everyone has hardship and everything is perfect. Like, there's no in between of, there's wins, there's losses, and do you know what? I'm having a bad week. Out of a good month and good signs during the day, I'm still having a bad week, and it's gotten to me this week. It's just gotten to me. And my 3-month-old is the complete opposite. He is a complete sook and has everyone wrapped around his fingers, but he's so clingy at the moment. He doesn't want me to put him down at all. If I try to put him down, he cries, and he won't need for anything. I'll know that he's been fully changed. He'll have been fed. He literally just wants held and cuddled, and I love that. I do. But at the same time, I have stuff I need to get done. I still need to do the washing, the cooking, the cleaning. And sometimes I need a bit of me time, which I know is selfish, but for my own mental health and sanity, I need me time. So I'm actually on a complete, seesaw conundrum of one child that doesn't actually like me or want to be around me, and then the other one who's clinging to me so desperately I can't breathe and I'm suffocating a bit. And I just feel bad because I'm like, I have two of the opposite, In one, I want something. In the other, I'm getting that something, but I want something else that the other one's giving me that I don't want, It's not a balance. It's just a seesaw. So amongst the balance, you have extremes, and it's just a whirlwind. It's crazy. And being perfectly honest, I think we can all agree as parents too, that if we were to ever know an adult who treats us the way our children sometimes treat us, and the way they come across to us and the way they handle us, we would not have that person in our life. We would get them out of our life because we wouldn't want them in there. But because of the love and the devotion, and obviously because toddlers are growing and developing and they don't know, it's crazy to be in that relationship and love it so much. I don't want anyone to think I don't love my children. I do. I love my children. They are my life. I would happily throw myself in front of a bus for either of them any day, just to make them happy for that day. But oh my goodness, it is a roller coaster. And I need to vent. I needed to vent a bit in a house that didn't have kids in it. I was going to do a video tomorrow and I was like, I'm going to have my 3-month-old who will want to be cuddled. And while I don't mind that, I can't complain about them in the house with them because I love them. So, I'm probably repeating myself again. It was just, I thought I would just come up on here and just say that if you are struggling with your children today, you are not alone. You really are not. It's like I say, it's 8 o'clock now. I was meant to go to the gym. I've not been to the gym in a few weeks. I've not been well. Me and my husband agreed I could go to the gym tonight. I was meant to go about 7ish. Any other nights, usually I would get away, of course, because I was planning on doing something. The kids wouldn't go down to sleep, so I didn't get to the gym till 7:30. So I only got a quick 20-minute to half an hour workout because I wanted to be home, because I need to shower, I need to get lunches ready for tomorrow. I would like to go to bed at a decent hour because I'm tired myself. But I just needed to get out of the house solo and have a bit of gym session, a bit of a sweat, and clear my head a bit. And it has really worked. But I thought I'd jump on and just say, look, if you are struggling, you are not alone at the moment. Let's be honest. I keep saying let's be honest, but I feel like we're all in this together as parents. Misery loves company. Any parent who doesn't say that it gives them a sigh of relief when they hear another parent talking about the struggles that they have with their own child is lying. We all want each other to do well. We all want to support each other, but along with the good and the support has to come with the bad. And do you know what? As someone who's struggling this week, it's nice to know when someone else is struggling too. Misery loves company. And I am not too big a person to make out that I am any different from that. I support my fellow mums, support my fellow dads. If you're having a good week with your kid, especially milestones, and when they do something that's amazing, JJ started saying bus. It's a small thing, but he started a new word. Love it. Absolutely love it. And if you are having a rocking week where you are rocking parenting, well done. But on the other spectrum as well, if you're having a crappy week and you just want the ground to swallow you up, I am with you. Misery is with you too. Misery is with you in the form of me, and so I feel you as well. Okay. Oh god. So I'm sorry. That's my mum rant, and as I say, I'm not taking for granted what I have. I completely appreciate what I've got, but it doesn't mean that it's not hard. Right. So fingers crossed. Better week coming. Thanks.